And if you all remember my saying, good evening, everyone, I told you all there's nothing worse than hearing the wail or the scream of a grieving mother. I've told you all 1,000 times, and here I'm back again. Another detainee was rushed to the hospital this evening. I'm not going to release his name because I'm not going to say extenuating circumstance, but there are people trying to get here to see him before he's removed from life support. I told you all just a few days ago that a young man, not even 25 years old, was rushed to the hospital, severely beaten, while he was handcuffed by 2 deputy jailers. Not one press conference, not one release from the sheriff. Nothing. He hadn't said a word. Well, this evening, a detainee called the aunt of this young man and said it was at least 30, 40 minutes. They were beating on the door, ringing the bell. No one came. The young man was rushed to the hospital about 5, 6 hours ago. He was not breathing. I'm not going to be in here long because I'm really emotional right now. He was not breathing. According to the doctors, his brain had no oxygen for a minimum of 2 hours. Here's the thing. It starts at the top. It starts with our leadership. This guy right here, I've said it 1,000 times, is no good. When I say narcissistic, he don't give a damn. So, if you all remember 5 months ago when Sarah Huckabee Sanders, when the governor visited Pine Bluff, and this is not made up. Let me show you what the sheriff was doing during her presence. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the same morning, either April or May, they found, when they held that press conference at the courthouse, they found a young man in the cell that had been dead. They claimed they performed CPR on him, but it's not possible to perform CPR on a person when rigor mortis has set in. Well, all the while, he's tap dancing beside the governor when you got people dying in his cell. So you see, I'm not making this up. I'm going to say this right here. If you have a loved one that's in the Jefferson County Detention Center, I call it the Jefferson County Deaths Detention Center, because you may check in, but it's no guarantee that you're going to check out. I want to tell you this. Should you make any phone calls, record them. Pull out a second phone and hit record. Some of the people that work there are very, very rude and nonchalant. As of 7 o'clock this evening, they've been reaching out to the sheriff. They've been reaching out to this guy. He has not returned one phone call. As of right now, 8:38. As of 8:38, the young man is on life support. The doctors have administered medication to keep his organs alive. But let me tell you like this. There is Zero brain activity. There's no brain activity at all. So what does that tell you? He's been at the hospital since this afternoon. There's no brain activity. He's on life support. And they're just waiting for other family members to come down. He's not even 40 years old. I think while that other young man was dying, they found that body. He was tap dancing for the mayor, showing all 85 teeth with that ugly ass suit on. But you'll hear about it sooner rather than later. There's a young man, he's not even 40 years old. He's at Jefferson Regional Medical Center. This is the second detainee rushed to the hospital within 6 days. Last Thursday and now today. He has no brain activity, none whatsoever. The doctor said he was unconscious or he was gone too long without oxygen. So basically he's brain dead. I'm going to tell you all just like this. It's past time for us to rise up. As I've always said, and I'll reiterate the point. Many of us won't get involved until it's knocking at your door. So send a prayer for the young man, but most importantly, say one for his family. But there's no brain activity. There hasn't been a press release through the sheriff's office. As a matter of fact, no one at the sheriff's office nor the detention center is even communicating with the family. They're not telling them anything. They're not telling them anything. So if you all can get the sheriff on the phone, maybe he'll do a press conference or a press release. But as of right now, he's released absolutely nothing. Second detainee in 6 days rushed to Jefferson Regional Medical Center. The first one was beaten by guards while he was handcuffed. Therefore, he posed no threat. I think I told you all that earlier this week. And now, this evening, I'm coming to you all, making you aware of the fact that another detainee has been rushed to the hospital, unconscious, not breathing. And as of this evening, as of 7 o'clock, the doctor said there is zero brain activity. Zero brain activity. And many of you will not get involved until it's one of your loved ones. Then you will get involved. I'm just stating facts. I just got off the phone with the aunt, broke down crying to me. She called me around 4 or 5. I said, please keep me updated. She said, Mr. Cannon, I will. Well, she called me back to say, good evening, Marcella. She called me back to say, the doctors have reiterated the same thing. There is no brain activity. And she said, I'm not stupid. I'm not a doctor, but I know exactly what that means. There's no brain activity. In January, it was Jackie McCoy. In June of last year, it was Trayvon McDaniel. A couple of summers before that, it was Desmond McBride. We had the young man this past April, May, was Johnson, when they found in the jail that they lied and they put out in their press release that life-preserving measures were performed that morning for 45 minutes. They lied. You cannot do CPR on a person when their body is in rigor mortis. That means they have been dead at least 8 hours, 8 to 13 hours. His legs from the thighs down were purple, the color purple, and he was stiff as a board. But yet they do a release and say they performed CPR for 45 minutes. They lied. You can't do CPR on a person that's been dead for a half a day. So I'm just letting you all know. They'll probably do a release once he's passed. But she's been reaching out to the sheriff. As of 8:42, he has not returned a single phone call. I'm talking about this piece of crap right here. Keep thinking he's the man. I guarantee you won't say that when your loved one is on the other end. Sheriff Department, the county jail, and the juvenile detention center needs an enema. They need a cleansing. There's corruption throughout all 3 departments, from the sheriff department to the county jail to the juvenile detention center. They all need an enema. They all need to be cleansed. When I tell you the corruption runs deep, people are not held accountable, not to mention the fact that people are not, I repeat, they are not doing their jobs. Because when the aunt said, how long was he unconscious? Nobody knows. One of the detainees was pushing the button, beating on the door for 20, 30 minutes. No one came. And now, it's like this. I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off here. It's like there's more drugs and gang activity in the jail than there is on the streets. And thanks to Cal Hunter, they feel like they can't be touched. Even though everybody that you see up here on this t-shirt played a part in the murder of this man right here. It's a real live human being whose life was taken in his own backyard. And the sad part about it is most of you are content and complacent with what is going on because it didn't happen to you. Because he's not your brother. The one that's in the hospital right now on a life support is not your son. He's not your dad. He's not your brother. He's not your first cousin. So you're unmoved or unbothered by it. I promise you, it's going to come knocking at your door. And guess what? You'll be calling me. You know why? Because no one at the jail will communicate with you. I can't get a hold to the sheriff. I called the sheriff number 2 hours ago. Has he returned your phone call? No, he hasn't. Narcissists don't give a damn and they don't care. It's past time. And we still have 2.5 months left. And the year's not even over with yet. Look how many deaths we've had in that jail. But everybody seems to be okay with it. I'm not okay. At all. I'm not okay. More people have died under the current administration than the last 3 previous administrations. That should tell you something. You have a sheriff that he don't give a damn. He doesn't care. And you all think he does. Some of you anyway. I got some enemies on here too that's watching me. Y'all know I don't give a damn. I love you all as much as you love me. But had I not brought you this information this evening, many of you would be oblivious to it. You wouldn't even know. You would have no idea. You have no idea. Yes, Sheree, we have a young man that's not even 40 years old, maybe 36, 37, that was rushed to the hospital this afternoon. He wasn't breathing. According to the doctors, his brain had no oxygen for a minimum of 2 hours. Even if he were to survive, he'd been in a vegetative state. Well, as of right now, after all tests have been run, there's zero brain activity. Zero brain activity. They've been reaching out to the sheriff since 2, 3 this afternoon, and it's almost 9 o'clock, and they've yet to hear from the sheriff. That's what's going on. He is brain dead. He's on life support. They're waiting for other family members to get here, and they got to make the hard decision. And God bless the family. I'm not going to release his name because other family members have not been notified. But he is in the hospital, Jefferson Regional Medical Center, rushed from the detention center here in Pine Bluff. Second detainee in 6 days. Second one. The first one was beaten to a pulp by 2 deputies, all while he was handcuffed. You can't make this stuff up. There's some wicked people in this city. Here I am, a black man in 2024, going against, opposing a black sheriff, a black mayor, a black chief of police, black quorum court members, justices of the peace, and then a black killer county clerk in 2024. 24 in the 21st century. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? These are black people. You all always said, just give us a chance, give us a chance. They've been given a chance. Look how many lives have been lost. I told you, they do it to him. They do it to him. What do you think your life means? What do you think your brother, your sister, your mom, or your father, or your uncle's life means to them once they get behind those bars? That's why I've been imploring you all to donate to the GoFundMe. Help me to get justice. Now we've got to try to ascertain what happened to this young man today. Because guess what? The jail isn't talking. You know who else isn't talking either? The sheriff. Can't make this up. Pray for that young man's family. We'll just call him Brother Jay. Just pray for Brother Jay's family. Because the doctors have done all they could do. This is all on your head, Lafayette Woods. A simple phone call. You won't even do that. You won't even give the family that courtesy to give them a simple phone call. That's all people want. They just want to be informed. They want to be talked to. But most importantly, they want to be heard. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here long. Share the live if you feel the need to. Just pray and hope your family member isn't next. But I got a funny feeling that before 2024 is over, it's going to happen again. God bless you all. Enjoy your evening. No more talk.